Asteroid apocalypse. City-destroying space rocks will slip through NASA defenses. Callum Hoare Express UK reports concerning what a scientist offered as a dire warning over asteroids capable of destroying a whole city, claiming they will slip through NASA's current technology capabilities. This week it was revealed that a massive asteroid similar to the one that wiped out the dinosaurs was hurtling towards our Earth, and that it could be a potentially hazardous asteroid and that it would be close enough to wreak havoc. However, scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson says large space rocks like the 1990 MU, which measures almost 5 miles in diameter, should not faze us. Instead, the American astrophysicists insisted the public should be more concerned about smaller asteroids that have the potential to sneak under the radar unnoticed. As we know, the bigger asteroids are easier to spot. The smaller ones are not. Appearing on Joe Rogan podcast last year, Dr. Tyson explained how it's easy to defend Earth against the threats that we can easily see. He said it's all about how much timing we have. What you want to do is go out and nudge it. You just have to give it a sideways velocity relative to its path towards Earth. And if you do that, the sideways velocity sort of accumulates and the angle grows. In other words, put it out of its trajectory. Now, if you do that early enough, it will miss Earth, but is still out there to harm you at another day. However, the Harvard University graduate offered more dim prospects for smaller asteroids. He said, I would say we could probably get something built in 10 years. The good thing about species-killing asteroids is that they're large and they're visible. But city-killing ones will slip through. Most of Earth's surface is not a city, so it will probably hit the ocean. But yeah, if it doesn't, it would take out a city. This is what Dr. Tyson went on to explain. He claims the US government is already planning for such an attack. He said, there's a branch of government, part of Homeland Security, where it worries about devastation to a region where the grid is taken out as well. Then you can't bring emergency services with food, water, medicines, transportation. So we need a grid that can rewire itself rapidly to bring power to a region. They're sort of doing that now by making it lightning proof. Dr. Tyson previously warned asteroid Apophis would spark a tsunami on the US coast. That's supposed to be coming at us in 10 years, by the way. We remember that at the end of April, they had a desktop asteroid drill. They have these things every 2 years. The next one will take place somewhere, I think, in Europe and in Switzerland. And they failed them up to now. So the last one that took place in Maryland, I think, was supposed to be, again, an Apophis-sized asteroid coming around April in 10 years. It sounds very much like the Apophis that's actually going to come at us in 10 years. Supposedly they nuked it, but a piece got cut off and it hit New York City. So that was a disaster, even though it was a desktop exercise. They still have no way of protecting Earth, even when using nukes. So Dr. Tyson previously warned asteroid Apophis would spark a tsunami on the west coast. He said in 2008, if it goes through the keyhole, it will plunge down into the Pacific Ocean to a depth of 3 miles, at which point it explodes, caveating the Pacific in a hole that's 3 miles wide, and it will send a tsunami wave outwards from that location that is 50 feet high. Oceans don't like having holes in them, so this 3 mile high wall does what? It collapses. It falls back into the hole, sloshing against itself with such ferocity that it rises high into the atmosphere and falls back down to the ocean, caveating it again. And this cycle takes about 50 seconds. You can calculate it. Then he revealed the sobering prospects for North America in this type of a scenario. He said, so there you are on the beaches of Malibu and a tsunami comes in. The first wave needs a supply of water to exit, so the next wave actually sucks back on it to create itself. Whatever was there on the coastline is now brought back out to the sea and the next tsunami brings it back to the shore. So what happens is all of the artificial stuff, all those houses, factories, they get churned into the force that sandblasts the entire west coast of America, the North American coast, clean. It's April 12th, 2029. Actually, it's not April 12th, it's April 13th, Friday, April 13th. And if it threads the keyhole, it will hit Earth, there we go, again on April 13, 2036. That's concerning the Apophis asteroid. The Apophis asteroid is not the only one we have to worry about coming at us in 10 years. Sean Martin, Express UK reports, there's another asteroid warning, space rock comparable to the asteroid that struck Earth that caused a dinosaur extinction. Asteroid, a huge one comparable to the massive space rock which brought the dinosaurs' reign on Earth to an end, is hurtling towards us as well. Scientists confirm it is potentially hazardous. The asteroid is known as 1990 MU. It's currently completing another orbit of the Sun, and in 2027, 2 years before the Apophis approaches us, it could come perilously close to Earth. Asteroid 1990 MU is between 4 and 9 kilometers in diameter, and on June 6, 2027, it's set to come within 0.03 AU, an astronomical unit. We know 1 AU, 1 astronomical unit, is the distance between the Earth and the Sun, which is 93 million miles distance. So coming within just 0.03 AU is perilously close. For reference, Mars, the planet which humans are hoping to reach, is around 0.5 AU. The asteroid is classed as potentially hazardous asteroid. According to NASA, has the potential to make threatening close approaches to Earth. Now, according to data from NASA, the 2019 OK was large, an estimated 187 to 427 feet wide, and hurtling fast along the path, bringing it within only 45,000 miles of Earth when it flew by in recent weeks. This was less than 1/5 of the distance to the Moon, and what the Royal Institution of Australia's Professor Alan Duffy described was, quote-unquote, uncomfortably close to Earth. That asteroid would have been big enough to wipe out a city, so 1990 MU could be truly devastating. Asteroid 1990 MU is up to 9 kilometers in diameter, which puts it in the same ballpark as a space rock which put an end to the dinosaur 66 million years ago. The space rock believed to have done so was between 10 and 15 kilometers wide, came crashing into what we know as the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico 66 million years ago, and it marked the beginning of the end of the dinosaurs. The research from Glasgow University found up to 3/4 of life on Earth was wiped out from that asteroid, with the dinosaurs dying out within a few centuries. Now, the space rock caused a cloud of dust to fill the air. It also boiled the atmosphere. It also caused earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Various terrible things took place. The dust filled the air, blocking out the sunlight, leading to drastic and sudden climate change, a winter, in other words, a frozen Earth that ultimately created major food shortages across the Earth, leading to the death of bigger animals and also smaller creatures, such as mammals, to thrive in their absence. And now, comparable asteroid is heading to Earth. While the asteroid will be close within the next decade, as we know, 2027, it will be even closer when it next comes around in 2058. That will be 0.02 AU, less than 3 million kilometers. You can understand how devastatingly close that is. Scientists estimate that a life-ending asteroid, such as the one which put an end to the dinosaur reign, would collide with Earth every 100 million years or so. As asteroids can strike at any moment, and there's always a very slim chance that a massive asteroid civilization-ending space rock could hit sooner, For that reason, many claim global authorities should have a plan in place, in other words, to protect Earth, but that is not the case, unfortunately. NASA's employee Robert Frost, who works as an instructor and flight controller for the space agency, according to his bio, said the best thing governments could do is tell the public to hunker down, as there would be little which can be done to prepare for such an inevitable event. Mr. Frost was writing in response to questions: if it were discovered that an asteroid was going to wipe out humanity, say, in 2 months, how would the governments of the world respond? He said, that's a tough one. Movies tell us they would keep it secret. There's a lot of sense to that. Mass panic can be more dangerous than the actual event. But my experience working in government is that government really is not good at keeping anything secret unless it begins within a secretive part of the culture like the military. Something like this would likely be first discovered by someone that couldn't spell security clearance, quote unquote. It would be evident to astronomers all over the world. Feeling helpless, the governments would likely just tell us to hunker down and duct tape our window seams, and then the Democrats would blame it on the Republicans for ignoring global warming, and the Republicans would blame it on Democrats for not praying in school. So what's the takeaway with this? The takeaway is that we have 2 huge asteroids coming at us, not just Apophis, but we also have this thing, 990 MU, which is going to be pretty close, uncomfortably close. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.